Hi, this is Tommy Gibbs with UpYourGross.com. UpYourGross is a software tool designed around the lifecycle management process. If you're not familiar with the concept, I've been teaching and preaching it for years. And the bottom line to the story is that you don't want to give all your used cars, used vehicles, the same amount of shelf life or the same amount of life cycle. So there's some vehicles that when they come into your inventory each day, they're problematic. And when they come in and they got high miles or you buried yourself in it for some reason or it's a bad color, whatever it is, you need to identify on day one that car is problematic. And we suggest changing the number of days you're going to give that car. And we have a way of monitoring that within our system. And so that's kind of how the software was born. When you first log into the software, you see this page here called Scoreboard. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that this morning or this afternoon, whatever you may be viewing this. I just mainly want to explain how you set your vehicles in the inventory, which is key to managing lifecycle management. But on the first page, it shows you something called 30/30 Health Check. If you're using the system already, you're familiar with that. And dead inventory, we show you dead inventory. And then we show you these bubbles down here. Each bubble represents a vehicle in the inventory. The size of the bubble represents, indicates the amount of the investment. The bigger the bubble, the more money you have tied up, the more likelihood it's going to be a little struggle to retail that car and make good money. And then the color of the bubbles also tells you, excuse me, tells you whether it was a trade-in or auction purchase, or where it may be. But that's not the purpose here today. We're going to go to the inventory page. And this is the page that a used car manager, a used car director, or who was managing the inventory needs to be committed to each day. It's going to take me a few minutes to explain how it works, but in the normal course of doing business, it probably takes about 1 minute per car to set a car in the inventory. And the first thing you see is something called the Action tab. This dealership has 5 units that have just come into the inventory in the last couple of days. And so the used car manager needs to click on each one of these units and set them in the inventory. You'll notice we have some orange icons here. It's a half of a car and a wrench. That means these cars are already sitting over in recon. It's called recon staging, which is the first step in the recon process. Our system comes with a free recon tool. I only point that out because our system that we have set up for this sample dealership, we have everything going automatically into recon. And there's another way to do it where you actually send them in there, and then in both cases, you will move them around, or whoever's in charge will move them around from service to body shop to clean up to the photo booth and so on and so on. But again, that's not the purpose of this. So I'm going to grab this little Titan 90 here, Nissan Titan rather, Titan 90. That's an old Chevrolet heavy-duty truck. I'm going to grab this 2018 Nissan Titan, and you can see what it's telling you. This car is 2 days old. The default life cycle is 60, has 58 days to go. It shows you how the vehicle is priced, shows you how much profit is in the vehicle, and it shows you what the ROI is on this car if you were to sell it today for the internet price. But the used car manager clicks on this vehicle, and it pulls all the information up about this vehicle. A lot of this data is within vAuto. We're giving you a quicker way to view it, and you can maneuver back into vAuto, which I'll show you in just a second. But it shows you the information on the vehicle, the miles, the VIN, the stock number. It shows you the cost on the car, and it shows you cost to market. Now, in this particular case, this vehicle, and this is a real dealership's inventory, but this vehicle is priced at $29,605, which is 100% cost to market. They don't have a lot of margin to work with. Now, maybe they know something about this vehicle that you and I wouldn't know, maybe something special about it. They've got it priced at 107% of market. There's a 92-day supply overall and 38-day supply like mine. Over here on the left, it shows you the V rank and the price rank. Again, what you're familiar with these terms because you're using vAuto. Now, even from the very beginning here, before I get to this piece here and we set the car in inventory, if you so desired, you could change the price on this car in vAuto by the click of this button right here. It says Review in vAuto. That button also appears on our inventory page itself. It's an easy way for you to get into the pricing segment of your vAuto tool. This is a piece that we have to get set up between you and vAuto, but it's really easy to do. So when I click on that Review in vAuto, it's going to take me right to that car in vAuto. And so there's the vehicle right there, that normal gauge pricing page that you're familiar with, that you work with all the time in terms of pricing. So it takes you right to that so that you can reset the price in the car if you so desire. On this particular vehicle, either, we're really high on this vehicle for some reason, but I'm going to pretend that this vehicle is one that I'm worried about, and I should be in this case, by the way. Early warning radar is an icon that we're going to give this vehicle to help us keep a better eye on the vehicle. And these are units that are a little hard to sell. They're problematic from day one. So I'm going to click on that icon, and I'm going to make a note over here. You don't have to, but I'm going to put overpaid. I'm just going to make myself a note. Now, we want you to tell us the source. Where did the vehicle come from? Was it a trade-in, custom acquisition, auction purchase, ex-loan, or lease or terminal car? It's really important for you to have an easy way to track where your vehicles are coming from and who the buyer or appraiser is. In this case, we're going to pretend that this is an auction purchase. We'll pretend the auction site was ADESA. You can add whatever auction site you work with. And we're going to figure out who the buyer is. We're going to say the buyer is Mickey Mouse because, again, we're going to track the buyers and appraisers. And by the way, this piece here can be done with a phone app. And we have some really cool enhancements coming on the phone app here pretty soon. This normally takes place during the course of the trade walk. You can do this at your desktop as I'm doing now, or you can use the phone app to do it. But Mickey Mouse was the appraised on this one. So we want you to tell us the status. Is this a retail piece, a wholesale piece, a stop sale, something you can't sell, and we want to track those? Is it a budget center vehicle? Is it a company vehicle? Sometimes dealers have vehicles in their used car inventory that are not really used cars, parts truck, plow truck, a toy that the dealer is keeping a Maserati around or something. But anyway, in this case, this is a retail piece. And you'll notice that the life cycle, the default life cycle is 60 days, but because we're worried about it and we know we've got too much money in it, we're going to shorten the life cycle to 45 days. I'm going to do one other thing. This is something you can do or not. I'm going to assign this a date to send me a reminder that we need to reprice this car, let's say on the 22nd. And when I update that particular vehicle, that Nissan Titan, is no longer in my action tab. So I've done what I need to do today on that particular car. If I was doing it in real time, it might have taken me a minute to do it. That car is no longer showing up here in the action tab. If I go to the early warning radar tab, and I'm not going to get deep into this at all, but if I go to the early warning radar tab, that Titan is sitting under that tab. And this is a place where you should be checking to see what's going on with these cars that you've deemed to be problematic. And so in this particular car, it's 2 days old. It's got 45 in its life cycle. It's got 43 to go. This is a very quick overview of the setting of the cars in inventory. But when you set the cars in inventory, it forces you to have a unique strategy for every vehicle in your inventory. When you do that, your gross is going to improve, your volume is going to improve, wholesale losses will be nil. You're going to make a whole lot more money. Again, I'm Tommy Gibbs. My phone number is 850-251-2310. My email address is tommy@tommygibbstraining.com. If I can be of help to you, please reach out. Thanks and have a great day.